Myself, Sunay Shah. I scored an All India rank of 32. First of all, let me start by introducing myself. I myself didn't do classes neither the third final or the internship year. So that is how I will be introducing myself. I will also be telling you if you do classes, then what you should at least do so that you can get a good rank. Okay. First of all, how many of you here are in the intern batch currently? Will be entering. Okay. Third final. Okay. So majority of you are in the third. I myself decided what I will be doing in the internship years at the third final stage only. That is why I will be targeting you a lot more. All of the interns, I have personally dedicated my time, so I know what to tell them, so that's fine, okay? So yeah, for you, especially pay attention, okay? So starting off. A basic overview. So NEET is a 300 mark question, okay? 4 positive, 1 negative, everyone knows that. Even if you didn't know, then this is the basic scheme. There is a part A, part B, part C. Okay, part A 50 marks, basic first year. Part B 100, second year and PSM. Part C, the rest of all clinical subjects. Okay, 50, 100, 150. That is how you divide it. For all those in third final, you should know these. You won't know that. Interns would probably know that. Okay. So how is the questions divided? Out of 300 questions, about 170 questions are those which are either direct questions or facts. Basically, what does that mean? You will know those things if you have read thoroughly, even once or twice. Those are based on your memory. If you know it, you know it, otherwise you don't know it. These are the questions that you should get right because these are plain facts, everyone knows it if you have read it. So if you haven't read it, you will never get it right. And these questions, basically these questions for the interns and the final year, all these questions are given everywhere. Guidebook or notes, these are given everywhere universally. Okay? So get these right first. Okay? Very simple questions, very straightforward questions. The next question, 60 to 80 questions. These are basically based on a logic or an indirect question. Okay? What does that mean? Not a one-step question, a two-step, three-step question, a case scenario, something of that sort. To get that right, you need to get your basics cleared and an in-depth knowledge. You do classes or guidebooks, anything, you need to have a knowledge of what that means. Classes will give you direct facts, but how to interpret those facts and apply it is for these questions, okay? And these are the questions which will get you from a 3000 or something rank to above rank in the top 1000, okay? So these are the deciding questions. But when do you attempt these questions to polish these questions? When you get the initial 170 right, okay? You need to get at least 140 out of the 170. Then you get to the next part and the third and the last part, around 60 questions, which no one knows. Neither of us knew ever, not at the day of the exams also. But that doesn't mean you leave all of them. You attempt at least half of these, apply logic, then you will get it. You will get some idea, you won't be sure. No one is really sure of these answers, but you will get something out of it, okay? So these are the basic breakdown. Okay, so if you want to get 170 questions right, first of all, any reference is fine. Guidebook, classes, whatever you read, it's fine in the internship year, okay? For the next, you need either in-depth knowledge of your notes to interpret those notes with a good base of your final years and the first, or you need to read guidebooks. The only option, okay? And for the last 60 questions, nothing. Your logic, your gut, that's it. So, first of all, I will be saying something about internship and then I will move on about the third year and third final year. So, internship basically, first of all, when you are starting off at an internship year, you have already finished 4.5 years, you have a big base, okay? First of all, know where you stand by giving first a baseline GT and knowing your strong and weak subjects. Analyze it, analyze your aim in life, what you want to reach. For example, if you want to score exceedingly well, then what you should do, and if you want to score a good rank, like a very reputable rank in the top 3000 is a very good rank, then what you want to do. Personally, I would say if you want to score exceedingly well, like the top 500 or so, you need to do a thorough reading of the guidebooks or the classes in-depth reading. If you want to go good enough, in the top 3000, classes is enough, notes is enough, but a few tips which I will mention later on. But first of all, find what you want to do, then think, want to do classes, no classes, guidebooks, marrow, whatever, okay? First of all, see your capability, especially when you reach internship, okay? In the third, first of all, it's a different thing. Find out what you want to do, okay? Then, what about Marrow? Okay, so Marrow is basically an app which gives you the video lectures, the MCQs and the test series in one app. A very good app. It started last year only. So basically we were the first batch that fully used it. Personally, I would highly recommend Marrow to use it, but only and only after you are clear on the 150, 170 questions at the first stage, okay? Not afterwards. Only after that use Marrow. Guidebooks. Guidebooks are required if you want to score very good, and if you are someone who wants to read on your own pace, self-disciplined and motivated. Okay? For internship people, if you don't feel like it currently, I'm not forcing you to start using guidebooks directly. Find your way, but the important thing is to keep doing whatever you do in a good way. Okay? Whatever you do, and first of all, build your pace currently in a very good way, and then use either guidebooks or Marrow. For the final year people, a different story later on. Okay. The basic question, number of reads, how much to read, etc. Personally, an ideal read is 1 read, 2 to 2.5 revisions. I never did it, okay? I did 1 read, 1.5 revisions tops. So doing guidebooks, a con, you can't revise everything, but you can get marks also. So first of all, find how much do you require to read. 1 read, 2 read, 3 read, 4 read, 5 read, 6 reads. I have had my seniors who have had 6 reads. Can you imagine? 6 reads, yes. But not everyone required it. He required 6 reads and he scored an amazing rank. I required 1.5 read, I scored an amazing rank. Find what you require, okay? And minimum number of read is 1 plus 2, but still it's fine. How much to read? Basic, find out again. If you are doing classes, first finish your notes. Not doing classes, then I will tell away how to do it. That's after stage. Tests, okay. Universally, tests are a must for internship people. Do not leave tests. You do anything, do not leave tests, okay? At the stage of internship, unless and until you don't know how to solve those MCQs in that time frame, you can't do anything. Read whatever you want, but test is very important, okay? Coming to the next point, which I personally believe, quality over quantity. Whatever time frame you have given. For example, let's take a scenario of classes. When someone is doing classes, the general cycle is you attend 2 days of classes, you do around 2 to 3 days of notes, and then you do 2 days of MCQs. Okay? What happens is generally the period of notes stretches from 2 to 3 to 3 to 4 days, and then you are left with only 1 day of MCQs. That is very harmful to you. What you should do is finish as a whole. Do the notes and MCQs of single topic, then only move on. Don't directly move on to doing one to the other topic without finishing what you know completely, without finishing the complete package of doing notes, the theory and the MCQs, then only move on. Okay? If you can't finish the whole subject, it's fine. My personal opinion, leave it and do it later on, or skip the next subject that comes during the next week. Either of the two, whatever is comfortable to you. But quality is important. Doing the complete thing, the whole topic, theory and MCQs is important. Okay. You don't need to remember everything, even in the notes also. Okay. You need to know what is important and what is repeated. 2 things. Whatever everyone says, questions, basic framework is repeated in NEET every year. That's a misconception. The basic framework is repeated. So you should know the repeats very, very, very thoroughly. Okay? Don't miss out on those things. Secondly, those important topics that you will know from your UG days. Don't miss out on these things. These 2 things, okay? Repeats and importance. That is the first thing you should finish when you finish the first cycle. The cycle that is reading notes, then doing MCQs or whatever you are doing the whole cycle. Personally, for guidebook people who are opting for guidebooks with the internship, it's very good because you can customize your schedule and you can break down the topics in your way and then finish off the MCQs along with that without any time limit of finishing within the 5 or 7 days of the week before the next class comes. So I would highly recommend that. But even if you are not doing currently, those guys still finish the whole topic. Okay? Yes. See, not everyone is very smart and intelligent and they can remember everything at one go. I would recommend you to find your tricks. Find mnemonics, find flowcharts, find something that can help you remember it in a good way. Make weird stories out of it. Weird stories or something and then find a way. But find an innovative way to remember things. Otherwise, facts are not easy to remember. You can't remember it easily. So, first, stratify your facts, quality or quantity, remember those important things and then find tricks how to remember those things. You can't remember them just by reading it, okay? See, these are 5 points which basically I did differently, that what I feel I did differently. I'm not sure whether I actually did it differently or not, but what I felt was really crucial and what was something that not my seniors had told me at least. So I found my own way for it and what I would highly recommend you. Apart from the usual thing of reading a topic and then doing the MCQs, it's a normal notion, notes or guidebooks, but these 5 points. The first point, MCQ practice, okay? For appearing NEET, there are 300 MCQs, not 300 one-liners, not 300 fill in the blanks. You should know how to solve MCQs, so for that solve MCQs daily. All those guys in internship, MCQs are a must. If you will be just keep reading things, you will have a vague knowledge of what to do, but not how to apply it. So daily MCQs a must. Okay, the first thing. As I said, break down topics, then do MCQs. Second thing, how to solve those MCQs, okay? There is specific, like as you solve MCQs, you will get to know the art of solving MCQs, okay? What is it? The basics you know, rule out 2 options or think what you feel, etc, etc. But there are a lot of more layers to it, I will be discussing them, but you should know how to solve MCQs more. And how do you know that? By solving them more. If you solve them more, you will find your own tricks, not my tricks, your own tricks, okay? That is very important. A very key point which I feel is very important, marking the important and repeat topics in your notes or guidebooks. See, what I used to do, I used to read the guidebook. Whether guidebooks or classes, it's just a material, okay? So, any material, you read it, you decode it. 1 topic, 2 topics, 3 topics, whatever you find comfortable during the day. I used to read it in the morning, then I would do its MCQs. It's not just doing the MCQs, doing the MCQs, solving it properly, seeing its explanations, then finding out those topics which are extremely common and repeated. If you do guidebooks, you will find that out of 50 questions, you can easily shortlist 10 topics. Okay? Out of 50, 10 topics or even less than those which are repeated. All those 50 questions are out of those 10 topics. So then go again back to your source material, whatever it is, mark those important points, a one-liner or the whole topic in a different manner. Either mark those points. For those doing guidebooks, you can make notes out of it. If you can. I was not a person who used to make notes. It's fine, just mark it, but in a different way. Highlight it, star it, whatever you want. That will form your base for revisions. Irrespective of classes or not, for revisions you should know what is important. So highlight those topics which are repeated, which are important ahead in your source material. Preferably read it again. Just go through it again at that time and then only move on to the next topic. This is how my cycle completed. Another layer which I added, material, MCQs, then what I added was solving these MCQs, shortlisting topics and revising those important topics. This is my key message to you guys. Do these. Without doing these things, you won't get good marks, you won't have a thorough knowledge, and at the time of revision, you would be like, what am I doing? So that will be really bad. So mark important topics first. tests. Give a lot of tests. At the first read, give those basic tests. At the end of a subject, give a subject test. I was a Marrow user. I used to give, in Marrow there is a test of 50 questions only. So I used to give about 2 tests per subject. When I completed those tests, give at least around 100 questions per test, I would say. And during the end, I used to give a lot of tests. During the last 2 months or so, I used to give 1 test every day of some subject, of some topic. Give tests unless and until you don't prepare for it, it is not relevant. No notes, no material is relevant unless you don't prepare for tests. Okay? Another second key point. One was marking the important points, as I said. Second key point was, I felt, is timely revisions. See, the general cycle is you revise it as you go. Like first 7 months, you read a thing. Then 2 months, first revision. 1 month, third revision. 15 days, the last revision. That is what the general cycle is. I didn't have classes. I didn't have to follow the first whole cycle. What I was doing and what I would suggest is revise the subject by the time you reach a point when you will forget those things. What does that mean? That about a time, let's say you read something today, revise that within the next 30 days once. What that will do is it will memorize your memories in a stronger way than reading it something after 7 months. Change the whole schedule. Change the conventional way, read it in a timely manner so that you remember before you forget. That was the basic thing. Okay? That is really important, really key. Okay? Do that. What I used to do, every grand test I would give, during the day of the grand test, the next day I would revise the subjects I did before that, like the whole month before that. That is what my suggestion was. Find your way. But do these 2 things, I would say. Okay. So how do you analyze the weak points? See, first 2 important points. One is solving MCQs, second is GTs. For solving MCQs. Solving MCQs is an art, as I said. For that, these are 5 bullet points that I remember. There are a lot of those points which somehow got into my gut as I solved it. So the basic key is solving repeated MCQs. But the first point, educated guesses. What does that mean? Something is given in front of you. You have read 4.5 years, so you know something about almost everything, mostly at least those 200 questions that I said, 200 to 20 questions. Try to find out some basic relation from that question and the options. You can basically, first of all, analyze suppose a case scenario is given to you. Like I remember a striking question in our NEET paper. There was a figure and there was a spelling given over here. Like a spelling and there were just what is the diagnosis, and there was 4 options. For those who have read surgery, the options were sebaceous cyst, dermoid cyst, and 2 other cysts. I don't remember the cysts exactly. But it was just this, a photo and 4 questions. Nothing else. There are a variety of clues which should be given, like punctum is present and slip test, etc. But the only clue I got was a photo and a midline swelling. Okay? So what did I do? Midline swelling, sebaceous, dermoid and something too. Dermoid is the only midline swelling. I marked that. I didn't know exactly and there was no direct question, direct thing. But I could guess it in a kind of a way. That is what, one example, but there were n examples which I used these type of things. Like guessing it but not vaguely like A, B, C, D. Thinking what can the answer be, what are the clues given in the question, and then ruling out options one by one and then marking it. Don't be afraid of question. When you see the question, you will feel I don't know anything because you will be trying to answer it directly. Find bullet points from the questions, find whatever clue is given. Age is given, sex is given, some kind of clue in the figure is given, interpret it, interpret the option, find its values and then correlate. Guess all questions, at least 100 to 120 questions will be guesses, not direct answers, but make educated guesses, okay? Highly recommended. For visual questions, mostly everyone would feel that how do I diagnose a histopath slide or an X-ray if I don't know it? Never see the image. Always again first see what is given in the clue, in the theory. There will be some theory with the image. If there is no theory, then it will be such a pathognomic image that you will know it if you have read 4.5 years. But if it is not that way, then see the theory, what the clue is given in the question. Find the answer from it. Don't see the image. Think that, okay, most probably this is the answer. Then confirm that is some kind of image seen in this kind of answer, and then move on. Don't see direct images. Don't answer visuals by seeing just the image. Never do that. Okay? Clinical questions and some questions which will be very long. Okay? The longer the question, the more clinical based the question, the more clues will be there in the question. The more easier it is to solve those questions if you are not afraid of it. How will you be not afraid of it? By solving repeated MCQs and by getting over that fear of it. So the longer the questions, the easier, find out more clues, find out more connection between the options and the questions. In NEET, the MCQ, the basic flow of it, the answer is in front of you. So find what option suits best to the question rather than just finding directly the answer. That is very important and that will really help you a lot. And the last thing, gut answers. The biggest question, will you give gut answers, yes or no? A definite yes. 100% yes. But when you have practiced so many times that the answer just comes reflexively to you without even thinking why that answer is the answer. That will come at the end of the year. It will come. But when that comes, don't think twice. Once the gut answer comes, mark it, move on. Don't even give 1 second to it. Because if you give 1 second, you will start your logical mind and then it will give wrong answers. Okay? Don't even give more than a second. But when do you do that? When you have formed such a reflex of solving the MCQ so many times that you know that this has to be the answer. Don't know why, but this has to be the answer. Got it? Okay, grand tests. So why are grand tests important? Grand tests and tests basically help you to find what are the type of questions asked in each subject. Like the clinical subjects and the preclinical subjects are different. In the preclinical subjects, there will be fact questions which you will have to either mug up or, as I said, remember in a timely manner so that at the end of the day, you don't forget it. By revising in a timely manner, you don't need to memorize it again and again. If you revise things, then you forget it, then you automatically would remember it by the end, intuitively with the gut. Okay? So that is important with the help of grand tests, so you can decode what type of questions are asked in various subjects. Okay? How many tests and the timing. The first test, the baseline test, give it today if you are not given. Then as everyone has said, a test monthly. I personally gave the test in the complete first revision till about August, a month test. Not about August, in October I give monthly test. Then from October to November, the October whole and the November I gave test 15 days, the second revision. Okay? I would recommend giving it 15 days. In the month of December, I gave around 5 grand tests just in the month of December. I was a person who used to learn only from tests a lot. I would not say give so many tests in the last month, but yes, don't leave giving tests. Give at least 2 to 3 tests in the last month. Before that, in the revisions, 15 days, and then 1 monthly before that. These is a must. You can skip 1 or 2 tests in between, but don't skip more than that. It will really help you. It will really polish you, okay? See, this is basically a photograph of my own evaluation of grand tests. I used to make this, like if you can see on the top, there is dates written over there, like the first grand test which I gave, the date, the grand test number, the marks I got, and what subjects did I study before that. Okay? So every month did I give tests. Like suppose in the month of April I gave some tests. I used to write on top which subjects did I study. Then before the month of that. Then the next month, then the next month, then the next month. Understood? That's the basics on top. See if you can see it. If you can't, I'm telling you what I have written. Then below, make a list of all the subjects, and then in front of it, each and every one of it, write the number of correct questions. Don't aim for marks, the number of correct questions. If you can see, let's take an example of anatomy. I have written, if you can see 68 in the first thing, that is the percentage. Below it, I have written 11/3/1. 11 number of questions right, 3 wrong, 1 skip. That is what I meant by that. I used to make it for every grand test after everything I gave. The importance of this, what is it? If you don't do this, whatever everyone is telling, what are the strong and weak points, you won't know unless you analyze it by this way. Because my way, you can find your way. How did I use it? See, basically, for an individual test, I would aim that I would get at least 60% and understand percentage, not the marks, not the questions. 60 or more is that I have got that subject in a good manner. If I read it in the last month, okay, that is for a single grand test. For between 2 grand tests, if you compare 2 subjects, I would aim not just the percentage but also the number of questions that are right. That is, for every subject the question is same in every grand test. For anatomy, if I read anatomy during this month, I got 11 right. The next month I would get maybe 8 right. The next month again 7 right. Then my subject is steady. Because I read it in April, then I am still getting 8 or 7, 8 out of 15. It is my good subject, not my weak subject. This is how you decode your strong and weak subjects. The basic whole thing about strong and weak, this is how I did it. I am not telling you this only, but this is how I did it. Suppose you read a subject and you got 80% after reading it. Excellent. But the next time you got, let's say, 30%. What does that mean? It's a volatile subject. Revise it again and again, but it's a subject that you can score 80%. It's an amazing thing. 80 or 60 or 70. That means that is the subject you need to focus the most. The subject that stays steady is your strong subject. The subject that does this is your weak point which you can score maximum. Okay? So highlight that. The third category, the subject that never increases. Like 50, 50, 50, 50 or 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, maybe like that. Then that subject is not worth investing a lot of time. The first priority is the subject that you can score but need revision. The second priority, the subject that constantly stays strong. The third priority is extremely weak. That means extremely weak, you are getting less than 50%. Okay? That is how you analyze between the subjects and throughout the grand test. Make a whole flow chart. That is really important. By doing this, you will know what to revise in the third and fourth read. Okay? See, internship is a year in which first of all you have to analyze whether your base is good or not. If your base is good, I would highly recommend not doing classes. But if you feel that you're not very much up to the mark with standard textbooks and maybe you're a bit fearful, then yes, do classes, it's not wrong. The only con of it is that you can't give enough time to everything. You can't do enough MCQs, you can't do enough tests. That's what I have seen everywhere in my batch. If you can do those things, it is very good with classes. Otherwise, I would suggest not to do classes, just do the guidebooks. Spend time on tests and MCQs, okay? Okay, with or without classes, the last 2 months will be very stressful. Everyone will be crying everywhere. Everyone will be crying, literally, without or with classes. But you have to have a consistency is very important. If you were stratified what are strong points and weak points for you, you will be able to crack it at the last point. No one can do everything, okay? Stratify what is important. Okay, a brief point about the first and third final year. What I would suggest is do standard textbooks and a mix with it of guidebooks, okay? A few 2-3 points only, which is very important, I would tell you. See, the basic fear in textbooks is you can't revise it, which is a wrong myth. If you start from day 1 and make a habit out of it, then at the end day, you will not be able to revise it still, but you will have a good gist of the subject, which is more important for NEET, okay? See, what happens is you start reading substandard textbooks, basic books, you don't understand the subject, you don't have interest in it, so you don't feel like reading more and you stop reading it again. Just start reading it once, you will understand the subject, enjoy it, and you will score amazing in NEET, okay? And something that I would tell is unconventional ways of studying. One is discussions, group discussions with a friend. It's very important, please do it. I would suggest it. If you can't, then find some another way, okay? I would highly recommend it. Moving on to mindset. What is important is, after reading standard textbooks or guidebooks, and after solving MCQs or whatever you do, a mindset is important. What way? You need to be positive throughout. You need to have some habit so that you can cheer up yourself throughout the day, and you need to have a very good group of people around you. Without your friends, without my friends, I would not be able to do anything. So please have a good group of people around you, okay? And at the end, have positive vibes. Any more queries, please WhatsApp me, okay? Thank you.